John Praveen, Chief Investment Officer at Prudential, expects U.S. GDP to grow 2 to 2.5% in the second half of this year. But what happens in Europe could change that.
Europe can have an impact upon the U.S. outlook in three ways. One, through the trade route. Second, through the earnings. And then third, through the banking channel. Now, on the trade side, the impact is probably going to be smaller unless Europe falls into a deep recession. The impact upon U.S. exports is probably going to be small. It's probably going to be slightly bigger from the earnings side, because about 20% of U.S. earnings come from Europe. So the weakness in Europe is probably going to have a negative impact upon U.S. earnings. So that is the second channel. And the third channel is banking channel. If the fact that many of the European banks are in trouble, and many of the European countries in the periphery are in distress, if there is a problem, a bigger problem there, or if the problem becomes even bigger, then it will have a negative impact upon the earnings upon the U.S. banking system. So that is the biggest risk to U.S. from Europe comes from the banking channel.
So how should you position your portfolio for the second half of 2012?
The way we are positioned for the second half of the year is to keep risk low, at least for the next few for the third quarter, until we see some kind of a resolution in Europe. I would probably keep money in cash, and then be neutral on stocks, underweight bonds. The strategy that I have is neutral on stocks, overweight cash, and underweight bonds. So that if we get these opportunities, like the ECB does something good, or some kind of a semi-game changer in Europe, then use the money to buy exposure to stocks. But then take profits and then again put it back into cash. So you have to have a shorter investment horizon. You have to be active. You can't just put money into and then expect that it will be fine. I don't think buy and hold strategy will work in the second half in this environment.